Hey folks, it's Jeff. Today is February 16th, and this is Option Writer Update video number 20. And what I want to do today, we're going to cover a couple things here. First thing we're going to cover is the continuing questions and fallout from this whole Bishop Lee update newsletter. And I know for most folks, they saw that thing and they realized that it was a bunch of bullshit and it's just more of the usual options writer garbage. So, but the question I'm getting more and more and more now is, okay, what now? What do we do? What's taking so long? What's holding this whole thing up from the authorities just dropping the hammer on these idiots? Well, I've included in this update, I'm going to include two links, and those two links, are to some recent enforcement actions by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. And what you'll see is these things are similar to what we're dealing with Option Writer, but what you're going to notice is that those enforcement actions have been year and a half to 2.5 years in the works. So to get done the things that we need and want to get done, to get answers, and to ideally have the authorities begin to hunt for our money, recover our money, and then eventually, hopefully someday, be able to pay us back our money from these thieves, it's going to take time, folks. And I know for some of you folks that the continuing saga and drama of Option Writer it's almost too emotionally taxing for you. And I said this a couple months ago. I think people need to probably adapt one of two mindsets at this point. I think you need to either just sort of forget about Option Writer and just move on and deal no more with it. As we found through the videos, as we're finding through more and more information that's coming out all the time, there is almost no doubt that these things are all scams, and they were scams from day one. The folks set out to basically steal a whole bunch of money from a whole bunch of people. And, they found some scumbags like Thomas Carter who were more than happy to open the floodgates of the people he knew so he could turn them into victims of these people. So I think people need to adopt one of two mindsets just for a healthy approach to this. I think you either need to just kind of move on and forget about it and learn a lesson. Learn a lesson moving forward of, how to approach things that you're looking for to help you make more money. As you've learned through the Paul Hardingham videos, as you've learned through the stuff from Christine Judge, as you learn through some of the other things I'm going to talk about here in a moment. But as you learn from this experience, just know so you stay out of these things in the future. So the first mindset is basically just kind of forget about it and move on. And don't be emotionally taxed by this thing on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And just move on from it. The second mindset I would tell you, and this is the mindset I have, is I want revenge. I want these people held accountable. I want these people to answer questions. I want to know what happened to our money. I want to know where our money went. I want to know who has our money. I want answers, and I want revenge. It's on a weekly basis. I get emails. I get emails from folks who the stories in their lives, the money that was taken from them, the effect that this has had on it. I want these people held accountable. I want Thomas Carter to answer questions in front of the authorities. I want Brian Conley to answer questions in front of the authorities. These people have done so much damage to people's lives, it's unthinkable. And when I think of Thomas Carter bailing out of this thing because he was, supposedly sick, and he left the door open for so many more people to become victims. And that to me is just unthinkable. So I want these people to be held accountable. I want revenge. very simple. I've gotten an email. I got 2 phone calls in the last couple months. People, why you doing this? Why are you doing this? Well, you know what? Because I'm pissed. Because this is bullshit. And people should not be allowed to do this to good people. And I want revenge. Plain and simple. A bunch of money was taken from my family. A bunch of money has been taken from very good people. I want revenge. And I want answers. I want these people held accountable. And if that isn't, if you aren't comfortable with that or you don't like that, you don't have to listen to these videos. So my thought in this thing is, number one, I think you need to be aware of the time frame that we're likely on with this. We're in this thing for the long haul. We're going to make sure eventually this ends up on the doorstep of the folks who promoted and the folks who brought this information and held information from people and allowed more and more people to be victims of this thing, even though they had very clear evidence that this thing was going to be a scam. So we want those people to answer questions. We hope those answers eventually lead us to others who can give us more answers on what has happened to our money. And then hopefully eventually those answers can lead to somebody getting their hands on a bank account somewhere with a bunch of money in it that can then be recovered and then be parceled out to folks proportionately who are still victims of this thing. So folks, like I said, I wish this could be a quick, easy fix, but with lying shitbags like Thomas Carter in hiding and Brian Connolly in hiding and Bob Roberts supposedly dead, thank God, and Bishop Lee, who knows, with all these people in hiding, off with the money, it's just not likely this is going to be a rapid closure. So we're going to need the authorities. And like I said, we're going to hopefully keep pushing people to file documents, file paperwork, do your interviews, get these people in front of the regulators and in front of the authorities. The second thing we're going to talk about today alludes back to kind of the first point I talked about with the first mindset. And in the first mindset, one of the things I talked about was learning a lesson. And, through this whole process, we've all learned some kind of hard lessons. And I get in my email inbox multiple times a week new things from people who are following me on this. New offers, new trading stuff, new make money things, new stuff. And every single, every one of those things that I take the time to check out, and I run them through the exact same process that Paul Hardingham recommends. Every single time, those opportunities fail miserably. And what I want through this whole process, irregardless of the mindset, if you're the mindset of just let it go, or if you're the mindset of I want these people accountable, I want us to learn a lesson. And I want us to learn a lesson because I don't want to see us continue to be victims. I don't want to see us continue to be meat grinder through this make money online industry. And my thought and what I'm going to do, and as soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to shoot a follow-up video. It's going to talk about the make money online industry. I'm going to take you over the next 60 to 90 days. I'm going to take you on a little walk along with me. Now, I'm going to continue to do the option writer videos, and the update videos will be separate from what I'm doing with this other stuff, okay? So I'm not going to commingle them. So if you're not interested in this, you can pretty much shut the video off right now. But what I want to do, I want to kind of share some of my experience and some of the things I've learned over the last 6 years that I've been through this make money online industry. I told my story briefly early in all this, but I've been through the meat grinder in this whole make money online industry. And through the process, I've gotten to the point now where I'm able to provide a comfortable living for my family from home online. It hasn't always been that way. I'm not going to be telling some sad sack story like you hear these shitbag marketers doing, but I want you to know that I've gone through the make money online industry meat grinder, and I've come to figure out there are basically three types of opportunities that you'll find online. And in the next video, I will shoot a little more detail about those three different opportunities and what to watch out for. You know, the first opportunity is just the out and outright scam, the option writer, the Thomas Carter type people, okay? Those things we've learned from Paul Hardingham how to identify them, and we should stay away from those things like the plague. The second type of opportunity is the ultra hype, guru, garbage, make money, sit on your ass, lazy man's, lazy woman's answer, push button, money magic miracle thing, okay? Those type of things have, in my opinion, very little chance to work. Most of those things are sort of outdated, hyped programs that have very little chance of success. And again, I want to give you some tools so you can identify that and also be able to stay away from and avoid those opportunities. A lot of those things are promoted in a manner in which the average person coming into them have very little chance of being successful with them. So that's the second one. It's hype, it's garbage, it's exaggerated earnings claims, it's things that just are not realistic for the average person to be able to turn around and do with them what they're buying. You know, if somebody buys something thinking they're going to make $100,000 a year and it's a push button miracle, the guru who promotes it has the ability to make it a push button miracle because he's going to send it out to his list of 50,000 people. And those 50,000 people are going to buy enough that he makes a good living off of it, and then he'll promote something else the next month and the next month and the next month. So, but if you don't have a list or you don't have an inroad into that push button miracle market, you're probably not going to see the same results that Guru is getting, okay? The third and final type of opportunity that I found out there online are legitimate businesses. And there are legitimate opportunities, but for those legitimate opportunities, it's my belief that they've got basically four fundamental characteristics. First thing, they follow a process or a blueprint. The second thing is they involve skills. There are specific skills that you will need to become competent with if you want to make the system work. You know, it might be something like running Facebook ads. It might be something as simple as posting and doing some simple copywriting. You know, there are skills that are going to be required for any business. And I think it's important as you look at business opportunities that you understand the process, you understand the skills, you understand the money commitment, and you understand the reasonable time frame that you're going to be expected to try to make something successful. So if there's a process or blueprint, if there's clearly laid out skills that you'll need to, you know, acquire, a money commitment and a time commitment. Those are all things that any real business is going to always demand that a person conquer. So in this process, over the next 60 or 90 days, I haven't decided how long, I am going to journal my efforts and what I'm doing, okay? I am launching two new e-com stores. They're two little $20 Shopify stores. I've got 5 apps that I'm putting on them, so their total is going to be about $100 a month. I've committed $1,200 for an initial Facebook advertising campaign, $600 for each one of the stores. And then I've also started with a new trading program. And I'll include that in the next video. I'm not going to put that on this kind of open option writer one here, but I have started 2 weeks ago. I hooked up with this new company. It's something that Paul Hardingham has done a background and investigation and check and really likes. And I am starting with them. And I started Thursday last week and started doing some sim trading with them. And I have been very pleased with the results. And I'm following 3 other folks who have been in that thing about 60 days, and they are getting tremendous results. So I will be chronicling my 2 e-com stores, and I'll be chronicling this new trade program. And I want you folks to see that there are real legitimate ways to make money. And you don't have to fall for push button miracle. You don't have to fall for some shitbag like Thomas Carter. There are real things. But, okay? And hear this but. These are not sit on your ass, money, miracle, rain from heaven, money thing, okay? These are legitimate businesses that will require you to acquire some skill. They will require you to follow a process. They will require you to input some money, and they will require you to commit some time. Those 4 things are what any real business is going to require of you, okay? And to not focus on those 4 fundamentals and to not focus on what would be required for a successful business is going to continue to push you into those first 2 business opportunities I talked about, the Thomas Carter scam shitheads, or these gurus who just continually market crap on top of crap on top of crap in this endless cycle of sucking money out of your checkbook, savings account, or credit card. So I want you to see that there is a simple process. There are some very simple learnable skills. There is some simple business budget that you can do. And there are some very simple time frames that you can follow, and you can have a nice business running, making you money. The e-com businesses, the first month, starting here, middle of February to the middle of March, my goal is that they will break even. My expectation is they'll make a little bit of money. But I think for the average person, you could expect in a 30-day period of time to get a store opened, launched, running, and have it be at least break even, be collecting a lot of data from your Facebook ads, so you'll know how to optimize. And again, this is all stuff that's easy to learn. You'll know how to optimize your ads so that next 30 days, you're going to have a chance to be very profitable. So anyway, folks, that wraps up update number 20. Holy cow, 20. I can't believe it. Like I said in the early part of this update, I'm going to be doing update videos still. I'm also going to be doing this follow along for these business stuff, okay? They're going to be separate. If you don't want to follow along, you don't have to follow along. I don't care, okay? But I want you to know there is a way to make real money. And it's not through these guru crap, and it's not through these shitbags like Thomas Carter. There is real stuff out there, okay? So I want you to see that if you want to follow along. The stuff with Option Rider, folks, buckle up. We're in for the long haul. And like I said, I would either adopt the mindset of I give up, I quit, and just kind of come to peace with it, learn a lesson, and move on. Or I would say, okay, this is bullshit. I want to fight.